Hey everybody, what's up? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is James. If you happen to stumble across this video, I want to welcome you. This happens to be my very first video ever, and I've never done this before, so this is going to be a very rough video, and I do not know how it's going to go. The point and purpose of this whole video is because I have tried in very many ways to get my own point and purposes of certain things across to other people, and I am not very good with writing or typing or any other format of expressing my thoughts or feelings. However, I do like to talk, and I talk a lot. And I find that if I just sit down and talk mostly to myself, then I can get these videos made. And I want to get videos out there that are about current events, but that are completely as uncensored as they can be, and then get other people's thoughts and opinions on them as well, and then get some open, meaningful discussion about them. Because there are other people out there that have these same thoughts and feelings and opinions, and I feel that going forward with this web series, maybe we can get good dialogue going about current events as they pertain to people with similar ideas, and not just that, but what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe also bring in other people who have maybe different opinions and sit down and see why they have those opinions without all the little name calling and stuff like that. But if this works out the way I want it to, I want to be able to sit down and look at the comments below, and I want to be able to see people subscribing and setting down ideas on where we go from here and what we should talk about next and why we should talk about that. But I should also tell you that if I see something in the comment section that is going to spark feelings or opinions, I will debate you, and there will be a reason why I will debate you, and I will call you out on that. And so comment wisely, because I will not hold back. I have my opinions, and I will stand my ground on those opinions, and I will tell you why I stand my grounds on those opinions. And that is the whole reason for that. I live in an area where I don't have anybody to debate, and I want people to debate. And I don't have very many people on Facebook who seem to have that opened reason to debate me, and I can't find them. So now I'm taking to this platform, hoping maybe I can reach out and start a current events channel that will allow me to report current events as they are happening, on maybe a daily or weekly basis, and then start a good open debate and discussion amongst like-minded people with a brain in their head, because at this point in time, all you see on this on YouTube is people playing video games and cat videos and stupid stuff like that. And I don't want to insult YouTube, because the last thing I need to do is get banned from YouTube on my first video, and that would not be the proper way to start things. So now with that being said, I want to start straight into the subject matter of gun control in the United States and how I feel about that. And what I feel deeply about the gun control in the United States is that we just need to scrap the whole Second Amendment and start over. Whether it needs to be rewritten or gone completely, I have no clue, but I do know the Second Amendment is, wrong. We do not need the right to bear arms anymore. The Second Amendment was written back when we were having conflicts, to defend our homeland against the British invasion, and we needed to form a militia to get the British out and form our country. And now that we've done that, we have no need to defend, our homeland. We have the United States Army, we have the, Marines, we have the Air Force, and we have men and women who are in uniform, who are trained and fighting for us. We don't need gun-crazed people running around with semi-automatic shotguns and other weapons that are not properly trained to handle firearms, just running around shooting people, and there are many good examples of places that have gun control laws that have worked for them. And I want to bring you to Australia. Australia is a country that has reformed their gun control laws in such a way that it has worked tremendously for them. Okay? The former Prime Minister John Howard of Australia said back in 1996, we have an opportunity in this country not to go down the American path. And he was right. In 1996, 35 people were gunned down by a Martin Bryant in a prison colony in Tasmania. This prison colony was a tourist attraction that was also later known as the Port Arthur Massacre. Okay, 2 weeks after the Port Arthur Massacre, all 6 Australian states banned semi-automatic rifles and shotguns. And it also made it extremely harder to get guns. Okay, now what the Australian government ended up doing was they imposed a 28-day wait period, and you had to have a justifiable reason to purchase a gun. And believe it or not, self-protection was not a justifiable reason to own a gun. Now, in 21 years, 1 million guns were sold back and destroyed. This was 1/3 of all firearms in Australia. Okay? And this also reduced gun owning homes by half. This also has had unintentional consequences, not consequences, but unintentional stuff has also happened, which has made it like homicides and suicides have also dropped in Australia. Now, in Australia, there were 69 homicides in 1996. In 2012, that was dropped down to 30. Okay, now, in 2013, they did an amnesty where if you had an unregistered gun or an illegal gun, you could turn it in and no consequences were taken on your behalf. 26,000 unregistered guns were turned in on that day. And that was in Australia. In 1996 in Australia, there were 18 guns per 100 people, and in 2016 that number dropped to 14 guns per 100 people. Now, that still doesn't sound that high, but when you consider in America, in 1996 there were 90 guns per 100 people. In 2016 there's 101 guns per 100 people in America. I mean, you're talking 101 guns per 100 people in America. That's ridiculous. I mean, you're talking, what? People are going around double fisting guns now? I mean, why do we need that many guns running around the streets of America? I mean, are we preparing for an Armageddon that we don't know about? Are we getting ready for the end of the world? Are we doing something that's preparing for an alien invasion, zombie something? I mean, 101 guns for every 100 people. That is ridiculous. I mean, we have people who are sitting on the side of the road who are begging for money because they can't eat, because they don't have a place to live. Veterans are homeless, and somehow people are getting their hands on guns. So we're saying there's more guns out there than there are people. There is something very wrong with this. Now, granted, not all this has gone over well with Australian. You know, the Sporting Shooters Australian Association, excuse me, and I apologize to anybody that's a member of that organization. They're basically the NRA of Australia, has said that these laws are too strict. They said that more people have joined their organization since these laws have passed. But yes, anytime you're going to oppose any type of gun laws or make any type of laws or do anything that's going to make, restrict anybody's freedoms, you're going to get somebody or a group of somebodies that are going to yell and scream and whine. And that's understandable. I mean, look at the NRA here. Every time we talk about banning guns or changing the gun laws, the NRAs have to go whining and complaining and take to the streets and cry and don't take our guns away and all this other stuff, and it's understandable. But when you have the problem that we have, something needs to be done about it, and we can't make everybody happy. It's like they say, you can please some of the people all the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. I think I said something right. I don't know. Please correct me if you want. Like I said, this is my very first video. I have no idea what type of format I'm doing it in. I actually do have an interesting sense of humor, and maybe it will come out later on in some of the other videos. Right now, this is just a fact video, and it's probably boring as heck. And I don't care, because this is my video, and this is the way I like to be. I want to rant, I want to rave, and I want to get the facts out, and I want to talk about what I want to talk about. And I want to talk about what doesn't make sense. And what doesn't make sense is the fact that we got all these people running around, 101 guns per 100 people. Which means we're technically overpopulated with guns and nobody's doing jack crap about it. I think you can say crap on YouTube. I really hope you can. But anyway, jack crud. We'll say crud. We'll keep it at crud. I like crud. Crud's good wood. But anyway. So, now, I want to talk about mass shootings, okay? Now, you go back to my little fact here about, where's my little notes? 1996, 35 people gunned down in the Port Arthur massacre. Since then, how many mass shootings have been taking place in Australia? 0. That's right, and none. Because in 1996, they had that one mass shooting. Australia said, oh, heck no, we're not doing that again. They imposed the strict gun laws, and they haven't had one single mass shooting since. Now, on June 12th, 2016, 49 people and 49 people were killed, 58 people were wounded in a nightclub in Orlando. Okay? At the time, it was considered the worst mass shooting the United States had ever seen. Now, I'm not even going to go back before then, because this would make the video about 50 times longer, and I don't think I have the battery power for that to do that. Okay? Now, since then, in 511 days since the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, there have been 555 mass shootings. I will repeat that one more time for you fine folks, to let that number sink in, and then I will go on a small little rampage, okay? And it will be out of no disrespect to anybody at all. 511 days, 555 shootings. That is about one shooting per day. There's your moment for that to sink in. Now, we're going to go back to 101 guns per 100 people. I already said that we're overrun with guns. And now we are having one mass shooting every single day. And nobody at all has done anything. Not the Senate, not the Congress, not Trump, not anybody has done anything about guns. Yet, and this is a whole nother video waiting to happen, one self-driving car goes out of control and fatally kills one person, and everybody's looking at putting restrictions on them. We have our priorities very messed up at this point in time. Okay? Now, June 12th, 2016, the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, 49 were killed, 58 wounded. Was considered the worst mass shooting that the United States had ever seen. Until we had a shooting. I really did not take my notes very well. Yes, we had the shooting in Las Vegas on November 1st, 2017. No, November 5th, 2017. October 1st? Anyway, the Las Vegas shooting, 59 killed, 527 injured. And then we had another mass shooting on November 5th, another big one on November 5th, where there was 26 killed. Sorry, my notes were a little messy. I couldn't read my own handwriting. I am extremely sorry. Like I said, first video, bear with me. I'm hoping that these videos get better in quality and everything else. Now, we are only 12 weeks into 2018. 12 weeks. I'm going to let this is another fun little number for you. 12 weeks into 2018. In those 12 weeks, there have been 17 school shootings. 12 weeks, 17 school shootings. That is one school shooting a week. I know my numbers don't quite come out right. I'm bad with math. But still, You got 12 weeks into 2018 and 17 school shootings. Okay? And I want to take the time in this video to kind of have a little memorial. Okay? Those school shootings are as followed. And, you know, if you are from these areas, you know, I want you to know that I know it's trope, but thoughts and prayers, I wish there was another way of putting it. I'm with you, you know. That's why I'm making this video. This video is for the people on this list, for everything that I've said, everything that I've done. You know, kind of boils down to this list, you know. So, we had one in Lexington Park, Maryland, Jackson, Mississippi, Seaside, California, Norfolk, Virginia, Mobile, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, LA, Philadelphia, Benton, Kentucky, Italy, Texas, Salem, North Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, Parkland, Florida, Nashville, and Oxon Hill. You know, it's sad. I mean, school shootings don't need to take place. And I see the videos about people wanting to install bulletproof rooms in schools and train kids how to get into bulletproof rooms in schools. You know what? You don't need to install bulletproof rooms in schools. Yes, they're great for protection, but why do you need them? You don't need bulletproof rooms indoors. You don't need to arm teachers. You don't need to teach teachers how to lock doors. You need better gun control. Students and teachers shouldn't have to live in fear. We shouldn't have to live in fear. I shouldn't have to worry about going to see, you know, Garth Brooks in concert outdoors and wondering if some guy is going to be in the hotel across the street and pulling a trigger. I shouldn't. You know? I mean, I'll be honest, I am a country music fan. And, you know, I sit there and say, gee, now I don't know. I'm going to see a concert in Knoxville, Tennessee in about 1 month. 1 month, I'm going to see a concert in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I sit there and I'm like, is it even safe for me to go to a concert now? You know, and I shouldn't have, that should be the last thing on my mind. It really should. You know, I shouldn't be sitting there making a list going, gee, pack my clothes, book my motel, you know, get my tickets, get this, get that, pack my bulletproof vest. I shouldn't have to do that. But that's the world we live in, at least in the United States. And people do this. And it's these idiots who can't, you know, A, figure out how to use a gun safely, B, the idiots who sell the guns, and C, your government, your Congress, your Senate, Trump, who just don't put the restrictions and who don't give two cruds about our lives in general, who just don't care about us. They don't. You know? All I can say is, oops. Gotta protect the Second Amendment. Gotta think about the NRA. Because heaven forbid we take the guns away from the NRA and they start crying. You know, you got these kids who march to Washington and make these speeches. And who are the more mature people in this, you know, segment? Who were the more mature adults? It was the kids marching on Washington. You had the people who represented the gun lobbyists and the NRA and all this other stuff who were sitting across with the kids pouring their hearts out and how it felt to be shot at that day, and were crying and doing all these heartfelt speeches, and they were getting flipped the bird, being called, gay. I can't use the F word here. This is YouTube, sorry. No hate slurs. And it was terrible. And why did people do that? To protect the rights to have a couple of guns? You don't do that. Shame on you. Absolutely shame on you. Now that I'm done with my facts, this is where I get upset. This is where I get mad. These kids marched on Washington, to protest what was going on in the school, to show that nobody cared about them, poured their heart out, took the time to show what they wanted done, and then they were proven right by a bunch of grown men because, you're going to take our guns away, and you guys, what was it that Ted Nugent said? Ted Nugent, right here. These schools were no-brained, mushy-headed children brats. Ted Nugent said that these kids didn't have a brain? Really? I'm sorry, Ted Nugent is the one without a brain. And he could say anything he wants to my friggin' face. I don't give two cruds. I really don't. If I had any respect for him, which I never did, I would have lost it anyway, right then and there. You don't go saying kids don't have a brain. Obviously they have a brain. They don't want to get it shot out of their head, which is why they went and did this. But no. It's just ridiculous. And I start to wonder what respect, Trump has for us, what respect our congressmen have for us, and what respect our senators have for us. It's just the absolute horrid stuff I see every day. And this is why I'm doing this. And this is what you expect to see from me on a, maybe weekly basis. I got a lot right now going on, and I just want to even see how this first one goes. So, if you like this, this may sound, like your usual stuff that you always hear about, please like, comment, subscribe, just let me know how this did. I don't even know if people are even going to watch this. We'll see. But, we'll give it a chance. You guys have a good day.